All right, let's dig into this one with the guys. Houston gets off the schneid here, gets to the win column for the first time, but I want to examine the Jaguars side of this conversation because there's no rain to blame this time around. Tyler, I'll go your way first here. Where are you seeing some of the inefficiencies right now with Trevor Lawrence and this Jaguars offense?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it in the highlight, too. The interception in the end zone, just absolutely inexcusable. And the turnovers are starting to become a problem for Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, you can kind of talk away all the stuff last year with Urban Meyer, but he still threw a number of interceptions that just don't look like that generational type quarterback that we all think he's going to be, or at least has the potential to be. The red zone interception today. Last week, he had a bunch of fumbles. Again, you talk that away a little bit because of the weather last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. It was the rain, he's fumbling all everywhere. But to me, at some point, you need to put ownership on the quarterback. He's the #1 overall pick last year. He's primed to take this franchise from obscurity to a playoff contender. They spent a lot of money this offseason. At some point, it has to be on his shoulders. And Doug Peterson even put the game in his hands at points, going forward on 4th down, and they just were unable to do it. 0 for 2 today. So for me, you put it on Trevor Lawrence with this loss. He's the quarterback. He's the #1 overall pick. There's a bunch of things that we can nitpick, but at the end of the day, you're throwing interceptions in the end zone against the Houston Texans team that just didn't have a win all season and really wasn't that impressive offensively. I think it was around 4 yards per play today, and at some points it was under 4 yards per play. They just absolutely got manhandled on both sides of the ball. To me, it's on Trevor Lawrence.
Sully, as my 15-year-old likes to say, facts. Nothing there that you said was not true, and we saw it unfold in real time. And you talk about the offense sputtering. Man, they scored 6 points. And they didn't score 6 points against the Bills. They scored 6 points against the Texans, a team they haven't beaten since 2017 somehow, some way. So that's also worth noting. Everything you said about Trevor Lawrence is correct. Urban Meyer's pointing at his television saying, see, it's not all my fault. But I think here's the good news. You play in a terrible division. The Titans won today, so now you're a game behind them, but that's okay. There's only one game that separates you. You'll get to play them, of course, as the season moves on. And also, Trevor Lawrence is 21, 22 games into his NFL career. I think he'll be fine. These are the growing pains that you have to accept as you move through this process with your franchise quarterback who's not even 1.5 years into his career. There was a lot of ugly. You talked about the end zone interception to Derek Stingley. That's hard to watch and hard to wrap your brain around and hard to justify on any level. But there are going to be bright spots eventually. And talking about rookie mistakes, Travon Walker made a huge mistake that Joe, you talked about in the highlight as well to keep that drive going for the Texans. So these are things that they'll talk about when they watch this tomorrow, and probably there'll be a lot of groaning and sighing and put hands over your eyes as you watch this. But I think this will make them a better football team as we get further into the season. And again, you're not in the AFC West, you're in the AFC South. You're very much in it probably until Week 18.
Ryan, Tyler, thank you very much as we continue the conversation on the premier podcast in the NFL. It's the Pick Six Pod. Ryan Wilson, Will Brinson, John Breach, all the guys breaking down all the latest news and notes and results. You don't want to miss the Sunday pod. Get in the comments. Join me on the Pick Six Pod.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.